rolls over when he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So handsome.
Anytime he doesn't want to do something, he just rolls over and tries to get you.
Remind me too, do you heel him on the right or the left? I can never remember.
So I try to do it on the right.
On the right.
My husband wants the left, but I told him, I was like, well, I already committed to the right. Like,
well, that's the thing is he can actually do it on the other side if he wants to.
Okay, because he wears a firearm.
Yeah,
so I think
that's fine.
Right. So he likes the left, but I'm like, the left side of my body does not work.
Yeah.
So I would never be able to figure it out.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of the yo-yo game, a little bit modified, nothing too crazy.
Okay. Yes, Callie likes to participate now, and now she's been eating his kibble.
Hi. What are you doing, little mama?
So it's like crazy. She never used to eat kibble. Now she's been eating it. He's still dealing with his jealousy.
So
but
jealous.
yes,
So jealous.
I've not been able to break. But I don't even know how I would do that.
So what you'll do is basically the idea is when you send him out for break and he has that kind of momentum coming back in, that you give him that yes and you kind of go straight into the heel. So you don't stop him in front of you, you go straight into the heel. Okay? So I'm going to show you really quick and I'm going to have you do it.
I'll hold her. She's just...
She said, I'm going to help. I'm going to help, Mom. I'm going to turn the slide on for you so you can see it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I can't reach the, it's the longer.
This one right here?
Too, yes.
There we go. Right. So he goes and gets it, and then yes. And I just pull. Just like that. Okay? And then good. It's the same order of events. It's just with the yes, I'm not receiving him here in front of me. I'm receiving him to the side. Okay? So then I say break. Same exact thing again. I gotta be careful not to throw it in there. Yes.
Oh.
Right into the heel here. Good.
Yeah, all this wine just
Very
came in, so I
nice.
have to unpack it.
Good. Good. Get it. Good job. And I can also receive him here. Good. Good job. Okay? So the idea is he gets paid for going out. He gets paid for coming back in, but that coming back in can go straight into a heel. It doesn't have to end in front of me. Good boy. He's doing really good with offering it down with the free shake.
Yes,
It's
he
really
has been.
incredible.
Instead he just offers it just to offer it, and it's
Yeah.
great.
Yep. So today what we're going to focus on is making sure that he starts to understand no. Sends him back to that last position, and that he cannot move from that position until we release him. So that's the fake. Come away from
Oh,
the
I'm
camera.
sorry, you're right. I'm in front of the camera.
There you go. So that way, is she growling at him?
No, she just
Oh.
wants to participate, but she can't.
Yeah. So notice that he got up prematurely, and I said no, and he went right back into the down again. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the idea here is that I'm not constantly, I'm not going to be constantly like micromanaging every little thing, but I do want him to understand we're going to start. He's distracted because I'm distracted. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. Now I'm going to lure him up into a sit. Sit. Good. No. Good. Good. Very nice. But I'm going to lure him up again. This time I'm going to use sit and see if he just pops up. Sit. Yeah, good job, buddy. Nice job. Very good. Down. Good. Now we're starting to differentiate between the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now he's starting to go, okay, there's a word associated with this. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to tap that foot. He goes right back into the down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, no. Okay. And I'm not going to pay that. Okay. So I'm going to give him a yes. That means he's released into my space again. We're going to lure him right back here into a heel. Good job, buddy. Notice I dropped one, right? Good. Remember I said before, there's a dilution effect that happens, get it. Whenever I say, let's say I drop a piece or something, and I say get it, and he goes and gets it, that the dog starts to realize, oh, you dropped something, but you didn't say get it. right? So the dog starts to go, okay, this is just not how we do things. I don't just go get things that you drop. You say get it, and then I go get it, right? Do me a favor, while I'm standing here, you just make sure no one steals my dogs.
Oh, yes, of course.
I will, I would be very upset. They, some bozo pulled out in front of me and brake checked me in Nashville, and their crate slid like all the way forward. So I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to build in some sort of a railing,
Yes.
because I was like, that is super dangerous. Brake, they're fine, but it was like stressful. Yes. Notice that he stops wherever I stop him, so that the yes could go straight into heel now. Now notice what he's doing. He's offering that now as a behavior, just like he did sit. Okay? Break. That means that I'm going to start, he loves it. Heel. I'm going to start fading that lure out a little bit. Notice my right foot didn't go back at all. Okay? Just very barely get it. Get it. Heel.
That's what I was forgetting. I was kind of doing like I kept going spin, and he had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, I don't know, you spun for that.
Were you saying spin, or were you?
Yeah, I was kind of doing this because I was like, you did something in
So this is the thing: is if your foot does not leave that position, if it doesn't step back, he will not go back there.
Yes.
If you just go like this, he will not.
That's
go.
what I was missing. I couldn't remember
It's-
exactly what you were doing, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew you did a
And
circle.
you'll actually be a lot better at it because you're shorter,
Okay.
so you're closer to him, and you can squat down a little bit more to get him into that heel. Give him a good and pay him.
Good.
Excellent. Now break and throw it.
Break.
Excellent. And then a yes and go right into
Yes.
heel. Now step that right foot back. That's what you're missing right there. And you're
Okay.
also way far away. You got to get closer to that thing.
Oh.
That's the reason I have it there. Step it back.
What?
There you go. And you're using too much food, so your hand isn't. Step forward again.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Pull him forward there. Pull him forward right there.
Do I do a yes?
Good.
Good.
So notice how far back he is? You taught him that. So
Okay.
you have to lure him into a sit right here. Okay?
Got it.
So you want that hand to, you're basically showing him everything. So as as you're receiving him, you kind of use the that forward momentum to go yes, and you pull back as you lure, and then your foot steps back forward again.
Practicing.
So I'm gonna have you lure without any food. I want you to
Okay.
just lure, and I want to see that foot movement.
Yes.
Foot,
Yes.
and then step. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. So notice how far back he is. So when you come step back up, it's gonna go back, and then it's almost like you've got T-Rex hands right here. Okay.
Okay.
It needs to be a little bit further forward. Okay. So what that'll do is it'll pull him up here into heel instead of being like, here's your food, you know.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah.
Break. Yes.
You are an angel. Yes, you
Nope.
are. Good job.
job.
Very nice, buddy.
Good job.
Excellent. Okay, give him a break.
Break.
There you go. And then a yes.
Yes.
And there you go. And pull. And then right up forward. You're luring too high, so it's
Okay.
away from him, so he doesn't actually have any interest. It's like just barely too far enough for him to
Okay.
lose
So
interest.
like
But
right
that was
here.
really good. Yeah. And stay stepped closer to the thing there. That's perfect. Give him a good once he goes into a sit right here. Just wait for him. Good. Pay.
Good.
Excellent. And then give him a yes. Right into heel.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. And a lure. He's not sitting.
Oh, oops.
It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Get that food ready. There you go. That's what we're working on right now.
Good.
So you see how if we hadn't worked so much on just getting him to offer things before, luring doesn't have that much value because I'm helping him a lot. So if I want to help him be able to basically fade out all of my help, then I shouldn't start with the help. I should start with creativity. So you notice how he's freely offering a lot of different things right now, and our goal is to start off with everything. Like, hey, here's the whole behavior set of anything that I could possibly offer. Now I'm going to show you which one I want right now. Does that make sense?
Got it, that makes sense.
So it's like training your husband. Like when you guys first met, you're like, I don't like Sour Patch Kids. I do like Sour Patch Watermelon. You know,
Yes.
it's that kind of stuff. And the dog starts to learn the criterion of, okay, whenever you lure to the side, you want me to go straight into a heel. Whenever you come to a stop like this and you're blocking that section, you want me to come to a stop in front of you. So without using any commands, we're actually telling him exactly what to do. And it's more for you than it is for him.
Yes.
Because the dogs learn it. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's really, really fast. That was really, really wonderful. Okay, give him a break real quick.
Break. Nobody's been good for him there, why? Yes.
Yes. Excellent. There you go. Go ahead and pay it.
Good.
Give him another one right there.
Good.
There you go. And then I want you to keep it right there at his nose, but I want you to kind of pull up just a little. No, it's too far away. Just push into his nose like this. Watch my thumb. Just push into his nose like this. Drop your hand down a little bit. There you go. Push into his nose. Push into his nose. There you go.
Good. Oh, what are you saying?
Trickster.
He was. Yeah, that one. You got me.
There you go. Notice how your hand moving kind of pulled him into your space. That's what I'm looking for. That's called luring. And that is pressure.
No.
A lot of positive.
No.
Good.
Good move. Good.
job.
Oh,
Nope.
nope.
Perfect. And pay. That's the first. That's the last time that we'll pay for a redirection. Go ahead and give him a break there.
Break.
Excellent job. Okay.
Nope, that went under the table. Sorry, Moose.
It's okay.
Break.
Yay. Say Kelly will help us clean
Yes.
it up later.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oops, sorry, that was me. I just ran him over.
Good.
Nope. Nope.
Notice how he's following the food. So your no is becoming a sit. So you want to make sure that you're not saying no, no, no over and over again.
Okay.
You can go ahead and start saying the word heel as he's coming into your space. And if he messes up, he's redirecting back into heel. I don't want no to always mean sit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hi, buddy. What are you doing? You're so handsome. Yes, you are, Mr. Lanky. Yeah, you're so lanky boy. I love you. Go sit. Give me yes.
Yes.
And lure. There you go. And pull. Nice. And I want you to withhold it until he goes into a sit there. Pull up just a hair. Just a hair. There you go. Right there. Freeze. Don't say no. It's too hard for him. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So when he's here. So when you get him. I'm keeping him from getting to it. Go. There we go. So what that does, what that does is he cannot take it out of my hand. Like he's not able to, but he knows it's still there, right? That is the definition of, this is what kind of concerns me about modern day dog training, is that most people don't even get the terminology right, and they don't know what positive and negative reinforcement even are. Negative reinforcement is the removal of something to increase a behavior, right? So if you, let's say that you, you know, you want, he obviously wants this food. Like he's a perfect,
so food
he's so good at luring, and you see how I'm getting behaviors by actually withholding this from him. So I want it to be kind of like a little dance, and you see how quickly, you see how far forward he is too? This is exactly where I want him. Break. And break can be literally right in front of you. It doesn't necessarily have to be way out. Okay? Set. Good. Now I'm starting to use commands. Down. Good. Wait for him to check in here. Good. Very nice. So again, we're starting to raise our criterion for what counts as ODDs for him. Okay?
Okay.
Sit. I'll help him if I need to a little bit. Good job, buddy. And remember, good always means I'm coming to you for payment. Down. Good. Excellent. Just little monkey drills.
No, I like this. Yeah, now that I'm recovered, I want to practice again. It took
Yeah.
about a week-ish off.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of like completely almost like, not forgot everything, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
a traumatic surgery.
Well, too,
So I,
the further that you are from something, like it's very normal, and I've been doing it for so long that I'm, you know, it's comes natural to me. But it's good to come back and reinstall that and let someone kind of rehearse it a little bit. So, so what you can start working on is with your like 5 minutes a day of work, you can do 5 minutes of food work a day and do your walks. It doesn't really matter. When I was raising Mila, the only time that I really had was her walks. So I just put her whole dinner into a treat pouch and I would work her on the walk. So when we were healing, it was heel, pull, 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 and then I would pull her up into a sit right here. Good. And then I would pull forward, let's go. And the source is close to them. Boy. And then right into a sit here. Good boy. Okay. And you don't have to do it for very long, maybe 5-10 minutes. Break.
Yeah, and he loves it. I tried it some while I was drinking my coffee in the morning, and he was getting breakfast. I do it. I was like, I was able to fit it in, and then my sister came for a week, and then my mom and surgery, and I was just okay. I lost everything we did.
And remember that place is all the way down, so I'm not going to pay him for just sitting there. Good. So he is. Oh, I wasn't correcting you. I was just saying that.
No, that's definitely my bad. Just whenever he just goes there, his place, I don't actually reward him now. I just sort of say good, and he knows stay. But now it's like I just say he knows even when I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And he goes right in his crate, waits for his little treat.
So what I'm going to have you start doing too is to stop using the word stay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Because if I send him to a position, notice he got up. He doesn't understand the concept of stay. Right? If he doesn't understand the concept of sit, I'm not going to say sit. If he doesn't understand the concept of down, I'm not going to say down. If he doesn't understand the concept of place, I'm not going to say place. So if he doesn't understand the concept of stay, I'm not going to say stay.
I'm going to explain why he keeps getting up.
That's why he keeps getting up. Because you're going to stay, 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 and you're just, it's like saying chimichanga, Burger King, like it means nothing to him. So if he gets up, instead of me saying stay, I say no. Right? Because it's incorrect.
Oh
right?
my gosh, that makes so much sense.
So I'm going to send him to place, and you can use the directionality if you want to, or you can use the command. And notice how my finger is pointing down. Good. I'm going to pay him on the mat right here instead of to his mouth. And as I give him distance, what marker do I use to come back and pay him? Good. So that means I'm going to come to you for payment. What marker do I use to pull him back into my space? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. So it's yes, and then I offer that hand. Okay?
Okay.
Make sure that this is still. I haven't done a YouTube like this in a little while. Place. Fading out this help, so now I'm just literally going to wait for him. Good. And as soon as those elbows touch the placemat there, I'm going to pay it. He's a little lanky, so I don't mind that his feet are touching the ground there. That's not a huge deal to me. Good job, buddy. Now, I could also pull him into heel off of place. So I can give him a yes here. Yes. Right in the heel. This just gives me more options. A little bit forward. Notice how sometimes just kind of resetting a little bit is a good idea. So notice he's super far back. You know, let him have a little open source of food here. Notice how far back he is. I want him to be up here. So he keeps going too far forward. That tells me that he's been getting paid probably really far back. Good.
Yes.
So I would start paying him like right at your toes, sort of. Good. Place. I'm gonna say no. Is he not on place? Give him a little bump. Good, very nice. Okay. Now that little knee bump, that is also negative reinforcement. I'm removing comfort for a moment to say you're not in the right spot, but I want you to be in the right spot. So I'm removing comfort to increase the behavior and going back onto place. Good boy. So as I turn my back on him and I start to work him a little bit, he also needs to continue to offer me the behavior of staying, right? Which I can mark, and I can come back and pay. So stay is the only behavior that I almost never name because I want the dog to have an implied stay with every single obedience command. So if I put the dog in a down out in the front yard, they're in the down when I finish my 1 hour lesson. If I put the dog on place or in the crate, at the end of my 1 hour lesson, they're still there. So obviously that's extreme, but that's like, I might do that once in the dog's whole training, but I want them to be able to do it. So I record it for the client, I put it in time lapse, and they get to watch a 23-second video instead of a 1 hour video.
Love it.
Good job, buddy. So after he checks in with me here, I'm gonna give him a no. And as soon as he's back on that place, you notice I immediately started taking the pressure off, okay? So I gave him the negative marker. That means I'm gonna come in and pop that leash, right? Even though there's no leash attached, she understands that still. So no means that there's a possibility that you could get a punishment. So good job, buddy. That's why I think that it's silly when people say, oh, never punish a dog or whatever. It's like, bro, dogs understand punishment better than humans.
Right.
90% of the time. Good. And then I move.
Yes, in Danny's defense, he wants him to be more of a guard dog, but and Danny's like, I just don't understand. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. He's really friendly. He doesn't respond to people at the door. Shouldn't we be happy? But Danny's upset that he's not much of a guard dog.
That's just not who you are, buddy.
That's what I keep telling him.
How old is he now?
He's just turned 7 months on the second.
If at a year he'll start to become a little bit protective, possessive, territorial. If you want some of that, then we can kind of channel that a little bit. That's fine, but it's a slippery slope. You know, it's one of those things where his natural inclination to bark will at some point become overwhelming.
Right. I love that he doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing really phases him, and I love it. Like,
well, too, that also tells you that if he does bark, you really know that there's something wrong.
Okay, so he will naturally, if he feels like there's
If
something
someone
wrong.
busts into your window, he's gonna freaking go insane.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He has those natural drives as a dog, but you shouldn't be. You want him to discriminate when he pulls that out, right?
Right.
So that you really know, oh, this actually means something, versus he just barks all the time. Does that make sense?
Okay, no, that makes sense.
You don't want a dog that you come to the door and you can feel the dog's bark from outside,
Yeah,
right?
I want that.
That's bad news.
Alright, good. That's fine.
Good, because inside the home is an area of calm, right? It's low arousal, it's not high arousal. So I'm gonna
He's so
give him-
calm. We got the fence fixed, so like he doesn't do the craziness
Oh,
of the
nice.
fence anymore.
Good,
So
good, very good job.
he's really
Good job, buddy.
calming down.
All right. Some distance. So my three main proofing mechanisms. Proofing means just making that behavior stronger. So we've gone through the process of charging the markers and teaching him the communication system. We've gotten him to offer us every behavior that he could possibly offer us. So he knows all the behaviors now. We're starting to word associate those behaviors. We need to start introducing pressure with those behaviors using the leash, and then we can do some proofing. And what proofing is I'm introducing punishment. So if you don't go into it, I'm going to pop that leash. If you go into it but you leave too soon, I'm going to pop that leash. So that is the terminology there is proofing. And the idea of proofing is I want to make that behavior perfect, but I also want to make it strong. So I want it to be bulletproof, right? In order to make it bulletproof, I have to add some different distances, I have to add some different durations, and I have to add different distractions. So that could be ringing the doorbell, it could be, I have clients that they'll record themselves ringing their own doorbell, and then they'll play the audio of it, and just to proof their dog on the doorbell ringing. And I think that's a great idea. I have one that I've uploaded for Theo that's pretty good. So ultimately, when it comes down to the dog getting up off of place, the only time that he's allowed to get up is when I release him. So I will proof that. You can tell that probably the biggest distraction for him is me coming in here, because he thinks, oh, the game's over, we're not playing this anymore. And I just have to show him, my criterion has gone up. You now have to continue to stay there, even if I come into a different room.
Yes, because he follows me everywhere.
And he needs to
me
be
more
able
than
to
Danny, but oh my gosh, he lives at my side.
Yeah,
no matter
he's
what I
the
do.
dog that I would name Shadow, just because he's black and I hate it when people overuse names for dogs, but I think that would be a perfect name for him.
They will make that your middle name.
So now that no. So point back to place again.
Moose,
Show him.
place.
And don't repeat the command, because he knows what he broke. And just ignore him. Don't give him a good, don't give him any eye contact. So you notice how when you talked to him, his arousal went up just enough that it brought him out of the position. And that's when I go, no. Right back into that spot again. And you can snap if you want to, you can clap your hands if you want to, whatever. No. See that little spatial push there? It's just enough for him to go, oh shoot, I messed up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stepped on one.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes. Right there. Good job, buddy. So you're about 70% the way through the kind of spectrum of building of the obedience of the behaviors. So that's really cool. And it happens very quickly.
Yes.
Like you see how quickly all this stuff comes together.
He's learned so much in just a short amount of time. I knew with my 2-week break, I was like, uh-oh.
Well, that's the thing is dogs can come back to that spot where they're with the trainer like immediately. Like they just kind of go back to that place in their brain. That little healer puppy is out there.
Oh yes, he always is.
Oh, so cute. So the next thing that we had talked about was, I think, structured walking. What was the other? There was a couple different things.
Danny would like to see if there's a way for him to. He does well on this thing, by the way.
Okay.
I tried to get the other collar, but it didn't seem to fit him. But I can order it again for the next time you come.
Did you get a big one?
I just ordered the 2.25 millimeter size. I didn't know if they come in like small, medium, large. But the one I got, I'm like.
Did you watch the video?
No, I probably should have.
You should have watched the video.
I can reorder it on Amazon.
So this is the thing. With the 2.25 is you have to take it apart to put it on the dog.
Yes, the unhooks, because my mom has one for her dog. It just.
You probably just need extra links.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you can add links to it.
Because suddenly he got thicker. And that's why I was like, is your neck thicker? Like,
I'll see if I have one with me too. There's a small possibility
that I could. Because he was doing really good on that though. Danny and I took him for a walk, and now that I'm mobile again, I can try it. But he actually did really well. He just, I don't know. But then I was like, okay, so we'll try that. But then Hadn't done that in 2 weeks, so he hasn't really been outside except the backyard. But Danny, I know, wanted to see if there's a way to, because right now he like goes to the bathroom in certain areas. But,
oh, that's right. To see
but if
you
there's
go
a
on
way,
each spot.
yeah, I don't know, because he's already, Callie doesn't.
You can. It's annoying as hell, but
Yeah,
you
that's
can.
what I thought.
And the way that I do it is on the long leash. So I walk the dog to. You have to put him on the leash and walk him to that spot every single time.
Yes, and then it would just be me. I told Danny, I was like, if it has to all be on me training this, then I can't fit that in.
Yeah. If you put him on a 20-foot long leash out there and just walk him to one spot, and when he walks away, you go no, and you pop the leash, then he'll go, all right, I guess this is where I poop now. You know.
Okay.
So you can start to do that. I had to do something similar at the cabin because the dogs like to go up in the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big garden up there. They kept pooping in the garden and stuff, and Celeste was like, "This is not gonna work." And I said, "Okay, cool. I will start having them exclusively poop like down in the woods behind my little chalet." And they've been doing awesome with that. And you can use a leash or you can use an e-collar to teach that. So
Okay.
I just wanted to point out, we haven't done a whole lot with him, but he's exhausted. Like it works the brain so well that it's not necessarily about just having this insane amount of energy every day that he has to just expend. Mental energy is just as sometimes more effective to do than physical energy. So like when you're training, the dog will be exhausted and people are like, oh come on, we haven't even traveled anywhere yet. And I'm like, no, the dog is exhausted. They need 2 hours to reset from this. So when Trauma just started, she's the Doberman that's with me.
Oh,
and
I saw her on Instagram.
I'll let you meet her. She's very sweet. She's in training to be a service dog. And she's a wonderful dog. She's just amazing. Super, super intelligent and offers. She's a lot like him actually. Kind of submissive. She does this like thing where she like grins and maybe we can let them run around.
He's become my best friend. He thinks he's
Cool.
cool. He knows he's my bestie. But
Yeah.
yes, that's why I think he still wants me to chase him. But he was pretty good. Like he knew when I couldn't really move, and I would go outside and I'd be like hobbling. And so he'd like try to bring me the toy, but he has been treating my garden like a salad bar.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's like, I tell him no and he'll stop, but I don't.
Yeah, it's
I
time
can't
for
watch him. Oh no.
So off. If you're able to
That's
use
my
your
knee.
yeah, I was gonna say, what is it? Your knee that you have? surgery on, or
It's this whole area,
Okay, gotcha.
so I'm just bruised up. But
yeah. When he comes up like that, just use your hand and pop him on the nose. That's the
Oh,
best thing to
okay.
do. Because I mean,
all right.
if you can't,
No.
and that was like play. That's,
Oh, okay.
That's not
Yeah,
gonna do
right, that was play.
anything. Okay?
Okay.
So you gotta really come down on him. So like, watch this. Hi, what are you doing?
Yeah, at first it was
You
cute.
can
He was
tell.
as tall as me, and I would take it as like hugs.
What
And,
are you doing? Oh my goodness. Hi, buddy. And he's like, nope, not gonna happen because he knows that I'm willing to punish it. Does that make sense?
got it.
So it's a relationship. It's ultimately gonna continue happening if he doesn't believe that there will be a punishment for
Okay.
it. So, same thing with the garden salad thing. So it is definitely time for him to get an e-collar. So did I send that to you yet?
No, not the e-collar.
I'll send that
so
to you
yes, please.
because he's of age right now to start being able to be emotionally mature enough to understand how we use that type of pressure. Because now we've used physical leash pressure, spatial pressure, and social pressure. Now we can add the e-collar in and basically layer it in with all of that. So let's say that I'm over here and he gets up and I say no. I actually have to physically move in order to initiate pressure. With the e-collar, I just press a button.
Oh,
Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yes.
So as soon as he starts to pop up, I go, no, and I hold on that stem and the dog goes right into the down, okay? So here is the difference. This is really important. This is the difference between an e-collar and a shock collar, and it's why I don't go out and buy one of those crappy jug bow collars. Everyone's doing that right now. I'm like, stop it. Don't do that. They're crappy. They're really, really terrible, and they're not e-collars. They're shock collars, and there is a difference, okay? All right, so I want you to imagine this American flag, okay? So for the top seam of this wall right here, an e-collar starts at the very bottom down there at the end and goes all, probably about 3/4 the way to the top, okay? The shock collar starts about a quarter in down there and goes all the way to the very top. So the difference is the shock collar starts at probably like a 35 on the e-collar, and that's the level 1. My dogs, if I gave them a 35 on the e-collar, would scream and never want me to put it on again. That's how subtle we can be with the e-collar.
Is it like
So-
those things where you use it for like when I have tendonitis, I put that thing on and
Similar.
it stimulates my arm and like
Sort of,
makes
but
my muscles
way,
do
way
something?
less than that.
Okay.
I'm talking like a fraction of that.
Okay.
So that level would probably be like a level 25 on the
Wow.
e-collar.
Oh, so that's
So-
I mean that's not bad. He was watching me do it while I was fixing my
Yeah.
arm, 'cause I use it for my arm. So
Yeah,
he just watches me do it and puts his
yeah.
head on me.
It's amazing. So Mila actually, her baseline is typically like a 6.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that I can feel it on my neck is a 16. So that means that I could actually punish her with it, and I put that same level on my neck, and I can't feel anything. So that's the nice thing about the e-collar is I think that it is more humane and fair to teach the dog to turn it off as pressure first. Now that's not across the board. Some people disagree with that, and that's okay. It's just the way that I prefer to do it. I would rather not surprise the dog with this like thing that they've never really felt before.
Right.
At the same time, it can be effective if you put it on a level 1 and he goes out there and he gets in your garden salad, and then you give him a level 1 on the jugbo collar, he will stop. But every time that you put that collar on, he will behave and he will be shut down and sad, and every time you take it off, he'll go right back to the salad again.
Got it. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
If I can teach the dog how to turn it off as pressure, then I can also fade it out. So, and that's the goal, is I want the ability to eventually fade out the tool instead of having to use it for the dog's entire life. So when we go into public, Mila doesn't have to have the e-collar on. She's not a dog that needs me to constantly be stimming or anything like that. Hasn't been that way for a long time. But I do put it on because I want other people to see I have control of this dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I never want to give off the vibe of like that she's free to do whatever she wants to, right? Like, and sometimes it helps to have that little extra level of control. So
Okay.
the e-collar will help with off-leash recall. It'll help with him not getting into your garden, and it can help with the pooping in different areas
Okay.
of the yard.
Yeah, because he has his 2 areas, so then maybe as I build out my garden, he won't have the garden area to go in because there's
Yeah.
just going to be stuff there. So he has his one area that he always goes in, but it's all right. So we can try that.
Yep. Another thing that I would try too is if you're gardening, you can buy, I think they're from Japan. They're called effective microorganisms, EMs, and you can mix them with dog poop, and it breaks down the bacteria that comes from the gut, and you can use it as in your compost.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I love that because
Yeah.
literally Danny, that's all he does is complain about how he has to pick it up every day.
Oh,
I
it's
picked up
awful.
like 9 or 10 bags this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it gets to be overwhelming, but it'd be great if I could use it for compost.
Yeah, you literally just sprinkle it in. It
She
smells
says he
awful.
eats light health food now, the spoiled boy,
Yeah.
after this bag is done.
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did well with like the raw meat
Good.
of the phasing it in
She
for a few
eats
days.
like I think a cup and a half or so of
Yeah.
raw meat a day, and she guzzles it down. She's like,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah, everyone keeps buying it from White Health for their big dogs. So I bought it
Yeah.
for him, and you know it's our cows anyway, so
Yeah,
great. And
that's awesome.
he did well.
What I'm gonna do real quick is I'll turn this off